Now, mateys, hey, it's raining outside. Figured it's a good time to tell you what I've been up to. I finally put a fuel gauge on the boat. All the other times I've kind of had to stick it, and I've got to take all the bolts out and get down in there, see how much fuel I have. So I put a gauge on, and what I also did is I put out a clean out on the tank. This is not recommended for gasoline tanks. I mean, seriously, this is a diesel tank. It's pretty safe. Gasoline, I would not recommend this at all. Have a professional do it. So here's what I did though. I pumped all of the fuel out. You know, I just used one of those hand pumps and got all the fuel out. Then for the access panel, when you get one of those, if you decide to do this, make sure that it is compatible with diesel fuel, and the same with the caulking. You can't just use any caulking. You've got to use a special caulking for that. And so I marked it out, I drilled some holes, and then I just used a jigsaw with a metal blade, and it's a metal aluminum tank. I cut that out, cleaned it out. Oh my God, what a mess in the bottom of that thing. Look, I don't know how well you can see this, but look at the mess that was down there. Now this is baffled, so I wasn't able to clean it all the way back, but I was able to see where the pickup tube was. You know, I got it all cleaned out, all the metal fibers, you know, from sawing and everything, cleaned it out thoroughly. Then I started adding the fuel a little bit at a time. Now the first gallon, I kept the cap open so I could see what was in there. The first gallon just came to the bottom of the pickup tube because my tank is irregular. I thought I had a drawing of it here. It's not square, rectangular, or anything. You know, it's kind of like a square funnel type of thing. You know, it's at this size, and it's got angles coming down here, and it narrows down here. So how accurate can a fuel gauge be? Well, so I started putting, like I said, I started putting it in a little bit at a time. I put 1 gallon in. It just barely met the intake, or the pickup tube. The second gallon, it started to come up over the pickup tube. Then I started adding 5 gallons at a time, and I made this little diagram so that as I put the fuel in, I could see where the gauge was. Now, supposedly I have a 30-gallon tank. It sure didn't look like it. I mean, at a little over half full, I had 12 gallons. Then, just before the full mark was 27 gallons. Now, I know it would have fit a few more gallons, but I didn't put it all the way to the top, so I'm pretty sure I have a 30-gallon tank. And then I just made this little cheat sheet, and now I have a kind of like a calibrated fuel gauge, so I know how much fuel I have. I don't have to take it all apart to check it. It's a little bit more easy. I don't know how reliable it's going to be yet. We'll find out as we cruise. But again, that's just kind of a quick tip on calibrating your fuel gauge and making sure your fuel tanks are clean. Until next time, happy and safe boating to you, your family, and friends.